So Kraken made me sign an NDA a couple of days ago so I could record this video before the news actually comes out. But the news is out today and I want to share it with you. So here's what happened. There's a guy called Jeffrey and he reaches out to me, probably seeing the success of the channel, which I'm super grateful for you guys. But they see what we're doing and they reach out and they're like, we're launching something new and I want you to be one of the first ones to talk about it. And obviously it's super awesome. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, I can't tell you, you need to sign an NDA. And I was like, okay, cool. I signed the NDA, I sent it back to him, and he goes back and he says, are you familiar with ink from Kraken? And I was like, no. Well, apparently I obviously started doing some research, and ink is basically the layer 2 for Kraken, and apparently they're launching a whole new ecosystem under Kraken called ink. And when a centralized exchange like Kraken launches a point system with a layer 2, that means opportunity. And because it's super interesting, I actually said, yes, I do want to talk about it, but one, I will say whatever I want, honestly, about the product, about the project, whatever that might be. And two, integrity comes first for me. So if you're okay with it, we can do it. And they said, great, no problem. So this video is sponsored by Kraken, but I'll say whatever I want to say and I'll share with you my honest thoughts, even if they don't really agree with it. Now, so let's get going. Ink is the layer 2 launched by Kraken. Now, Kraken, a crypto exchange, you might have heard about. They're US-based. They're one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there, number 6 on volume today, but it fluctuates between 4 and 7. Why it's interesting is that layer 2, meaning on Ethereum, a layer 2 chain, very similar to what Coinbase did with the Base network. This is what Kraken is basically launching of something similar. It's not the exact same thing, but the same ethos of a centralized exchange, US-based centralized exchange, launching a layer 2 on Ethereum. Now, again, when I heard layer 2, I was like, okay, cool, it's a layer 2. I'm not really interested about it, but it's not just a layer 2. It's not just that it has all these cool features and whatnot, but they're building a whole ecosystem when it comes to this with applications, decentralized DEXs, and much more. So when it comes to a layer 2, it's always about who is going to use that layer 2 and why. And this is why it's super interesting when a major centralized exchange is creating their own chain, because they do have the user base and they do have all the marketing budget to actually make this happen. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I'm recording this way before you actually see it, and that means that I have not even seen the live site because they didn't want to show me, even though I signed an NDA. But here's the interesting part. You will be able to collect ink points. Yes, it's a layer 2 and you can collect points. Now again, do not jump to conclusions. I'm gonna get there in a second, but you will be able to collect points, increase your level, unlock rewards, all within this new interface of Kraken by completing tasks within Kraken Pro. Kraken Pro is basically the professional version of Kraken. Kraken itself is a very user-friendly, beginner-friendly exchange, and they do have Kraken Pro, which allows normal traders to actually use the platform to its max capabilities. So as you complete tasks on Kraken Pro, for example, trading, depositing, using the platform, referring people, all that, you will be able to earn ink points in your dashboard. All that while having a full leaderboard, so you're basically competing with others as well. Complete level structure, so within every season you will be able to level up and earn more points, and with boosts. So every week there will be a different task that you can complete. For example, deposit funds, try futures, stake an asset, read digest. Now all this, as I said, is still a design that I have seen. I know they have it ready, they just didn't want to show it to me. I know it's coming out today. I will update you with all the information in the Telegram. This is why it's worth joining to my Telegram channel. It's completely free. There's a link in the description to this as well. And of course, you're able to see the live page already using the link in the description. The basic idea here is that you go on Kraken Pro, you trade on Kraken Pro, and by trading, you're collecting points for this layer 2. And the million-dollar question comes, what are points actually good for? Now, Kraken is Kraken, a licensed, regulated, compliant American exchange. So I'd rather just read up what the points really are for. What we can say, points unlock things. Good things that will make the traders who stack points early look very smart in retrospect. Things that exist within the ink ecosystem, a phrase that sounds deliberately mysterious because it is. So immediately I thought, airdrops. It's simple. It has to be a crypto airdrop for a layer 2. Obviously, that's what you're thinking. That's what everybody watching this video is thinking. So I went back to them and I was like, it is an airdrop. And they were like, no, please do not say it's an airdrop. They literally told me to actually put this disclaimer in the video. So they said, ink points are loyalty program used within Kraken Pro. Ink points have no cash value and they're not transferable or redeemable or exchangeable for money, crypto assets, token, free credit, rebates, goods, or services. And allocation criteria, blah, 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 blah. You can read this all in the description. But the point is, Kraken is on purpose avoiding calling this an airdrop. So I kept pressuring them. I was like, guys, but I want to know. Like, I just don't want to talk about something where I collect points and it's not going to be anything. And the best they could do is the following. Somewhere up there, past the levels you haven't reached yet, behind the information we're not yet permitted to share with you, they send this to me. I'm not gatekeeping here, they are. Something is waiting, something genuinely worth accumulating points for. We believe this, our team has reviewed this sentence and confirmed it is fine to publish. And again, it's very difficult for me to not put the two together and see that there is a layer 2 of a centralized exchange with massive budget, and there is a point system that you can collect points in by using the platform, and that is not an airdrop. Now again, Kraken specifically told me not to say it's an airdrop and not to promise, most likely because again, I'm just sharing with you my honest thoughts and what I think. Them being a major centralized exchange as they are, they can't just go out, say bold statements like this, and then get screwed at the end. So they rather underpromise and overdeliver than overpromise and underdeliver that most of the projects do in crypto anyway. But one thing is certain, whether it's an airdrop or not, I very hardly can imagine that they're gonna make all this fuss just to have people get merch at the end of the season. And if it's truly not an airdrop, well, there's a lot of other things that could be extremely valuable by just simply using the platform. For example, Atletico Madrid is sponsored by Kraken, could be season tickets. Formula 1, Williams is sponsored by Kraken, could be Formula 1 tickets. I would actually like that if possible. Either way, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be something substantial. One super interesting thing here, and I didn't tell Kraken I'm gonna include this either. If you go into the official Inc website and you scroll over, you will see something here called NADO. Now NADO apparently is the perp DEX built on Inc chain by the team that brought you Kraken, as it says here on their X, from the team that brought you Kraken deployed on Inc chain. This is basically gonna be the leading perp DEX on Inc. And then I went a step further and I found an interview from January 7th by the thread guy, where the guy who he interviews says that there is going to be the airdrop for Inc. Listen to this.
So Inc is Kraken's official layer 2.
Shout out to Kraken.
NADO is Inc.'s official perp DEX. NADO has the largest allocation to the Inc airdrop.
Okay, which is
airdrop
when?
Sometime in the next 6 to 8 months. I'm really not allowed to say much more than that.
Sometime.
So I don't know if this guy knows or he doesn't know, but one thing is certain. If it is true, and everything aligns, and I use my common sense, this can be huge. What we know certain for now is that it is launched. The announcement is out. There is a link in the description that you can see it. Also, you can sign up to Kraken Pro, and by signing up to Kraken Pro, you can go into the promotions tab on the bottom right here. And once you've done that, you will be able to see the Inc site and simply start earning points by depositing and trading on Kraken Pro. Now the news has officially dropped a couple of minutes before I actually dropped this video. And the first drop is going to be happening. The first Inc point drop is happening next Monday. As I said, I am going to keep you posted in the community. There is a link in the description to that, so join in. But also there is a link in the description to Kraken where you can sign up to Kraken Pro, deposit, and start trading on Kraken Pro. And by just simply doing so, collect Inc points with it. And that's basically it. Check out the links in the description. Let me know what you think. Join in the community, try out Kraken Pro. And also, if you are going to trade anyway, I suggest that you subscribe to the channel and come back for the 5-minute daily update that I do every single day on what positions I'm trading and how I'm achieving these results. It's 5 minutes a day. You will not regret it. This is the latest. Check it out, subscribe, try out Kraken, and I'll see you in the next one.